Welcome, welcome, welcome. This is Edna White, your host of Keeping It Real on Purpose. So I guess you can hear the sound in the background. Yes, I am driving. And I wanted to talk to you about something so quickly that I had to do this while I was driving. So I have hands-free driving, so I just so want you to know. And I'm going to talk about dating. It might spill into marriage. But the topic is, even if you're at your very best, it's not good enough for the wrong person. And I'll tell you why. Being your very best is not good enough for the wrong person because they are just that, the wrong person. From my own experience, I was in relationships. Number one, the first relationship I knew was doomed, but I was too young, or I was not heard by my mother to say that, this person wasn't right for me. And I made a mistake of becoming a teen mom real early at the age of 18. I made that mistake. No, I'm sorry, 17. But I made that mistake. But I knew that marrying someone on top of being a teenager, on top of being a mom, on top of going to college, finishing high school, I knew with all of that baggage, it was not going to work. And something was going to suffer. More so, my child was going to suffer. And no matter what I did, arguing, fussing, fighting, saying no, my parent didn't listen to me. And so, with a little bit of deceit and trickery, I was forced into a marriage that I did not want and was doomed from the door. So I learned from that. I learned to gain my voice, that I have an opinion, that I have the right to say no. Even if I make a mistake, I have the right to say no. Because I was not enough for the wrong person. He was the wrong person. We both were probably the wrong people because we didn't really want each other. We were going by some societal status quo or societal norm or some societal just saying, which spilled over into our lives and made our lives a living hell and made it worse for our children, and stole lifetimes. When I say lifetimes, I mean 15 years of back and forth, 15 years of, angry arguments, 15 years of loneliness. And that's when life is not worth it, to be with the wrong person, whether it be a romantic relationship or, just being friends or family. Dating is similar to all of that. So I learned in the first marriage that, my voice counts, and I did my children a total disservice by marrying the wrong person, by having a child with the wrong person and expecting them to help raise them. Total mistake. So I damaged my generation more. There were patterns already there, and I just dumped on top of that. So during that time of not being married and divorced, I made it my business to, make amends or fix the relationships so that I could repair the damage that I didn't know that I was doing and had done. And so I was making amends. I was apologizing. I was giving the right information, the right options, building into their lives. So they could see that, okay, mom did make a mistake. She has said, apologize for it. She is moving forward, and she's putting action behind it. She's not just telling me, don't do what I do, but do what I say. She's not even doing it. She is actually correcting the mistake, showing us how to make a correction, and putting the actions and the words in alignment. So they can't say, well, mom didn't show me, whatever. They could say it, but it wouldn't be accurate. All right. So you will never be enough for the wrong person, no matter what you do. My second marriage was presumably because I didn't know what dating meant. I laugh at myself because I didn't know what dating meant, and I did not know I was not taught what it was. See, we're taught to have relationships, but we're not taught to date in order to gain a relationship. Dating is nothing but the courtship. It could be a few guys to find out if he or she is the one. And if he or she is not the one, you have the right to say no. You have the right to end it. Dating is staying separate and apart until things can come together that make sense for both of you. So that means living apart. That means having your own place, they having their own place. That means you having your own job, you having your own money, you having your own bank account. That means all of that. You having your own everything. Your own social life, you having your own mental capacities, health, wellness. You have your own physical wellness. You have your own financial wellness, okay? And most of all, you have your own spiritual wellness. So it's not all blended together. You're not happing into living with them, making a life, and you don't even know them. And I think that was one of the mistakes. I didn't move in with him right away, but I did not know what the word dating meant. I did not know that I was entitled for him to live where he was supposed to live and have his own thing, and I stay where I was, and we can say we loved each other until I felt like I was ready. I didn't know that. Wasn't taught that. And we all are not taught that. Women of color are not taught that. Men of color are not taught that. It's okay to live separate and apart. It's okay for you to stay at your house and I live at my house. It's okay. Until things come together that, maybe we should move together and test this out. But at the same token, at the end of it all, you still have the right to say no. And all of those things I just mentioned, your social activities, your being yourself as an individual, is still relevant when you're living together. It's still relevant. It still needs to be exercised. It still needs to be part of that. You just don't merge and become one person and then you lose all that you are. And then you say, what do I do? It's just like empty nest syndrome, Empty nest syndrome, when you experience it, you've put 100% of your 100% into your children. And when they're grown and they're picking lives that they want to go towards and they're doing the things they want to do, you're like, now what? What am I going to do? Right? That's the same way with a relationship, dating. You have the right to not do that. You have the right to maintain your friendships. You have the right to be your individual self. You have the right to practice spiritualism, religion, whatever you have the right to do that. You have the right to have your own financial fitness and your own, you have a right to have all that. When you come to the table to marry, everyone's got everything the same at the table. Yeah, I got that. I'm coming to the table, meeting you with the same amount. I'm cooking the same food. I'm cooking food, you cooking food, and we're going to have a banquet. That's how it's supposed to be. We cooking food. We're coming to the table. You cooking food, I'm cooking food, and we're coming to the table to really have a feast. And that's what a relationship is supposed to be, a feast. Festive, loving, ever-changing, and growing together, understanding that growth. But when you're not enough or more than enough, and I've heard this from my clients as well as myself, and during dating, people were like, well, you seem to have your stuff all together. What do you need with me? And I would say, I don't need you. I want someone in my life, which is a whole another dimension of a relationship. I don't need you. I want you. And selection and choice are what need does not. Need brings about settling. It brings about, oh, I'm not going to get any better than that, And it takes away your choice to say, nah, I don't want that. So in my second marriage, I learned that big, even though you can do whatever you can do 1,000 things to get your personal development. You can raise your credit score. You can prepare yourself to buy a house. You can go to counseling. You can go to couples counseling. No matter what you do to improve yourself, improve what you already were enough of, you can't improve it enough for the wrong person. And that's what my second marriage taught me. I was with the wrong person. And let me just tell you this. Hindsight is 20/20. I knew it. But I did not have enough courage, or did not know to have enough courage and confidence to say, no, this is not what I want. So learning that you are enough means appreciating your enoughness. And when you don't appreciate your enoughness, you take anything. And that's not what we're here to do, with any relationship, with any dating. We are here to say no. We are here to date. And ladies, please, and men, don't get it in your head, oh, I don't need women. I don't need, men. I don't, I hate them. Don't get the hatred in your heart. Get all of that bad garbage that you dumped and you allowed, and the other person is allowed, and you took it on as a sign that this is how everyone's going to be. Don't do that to yourself. Don't hurt yourself. Don't get yourself in a place that your heart is so guarded. When love does come your way, it's going to need a hammer and a chisel to break the heaviness. And I see that in a lot of clients. I see that in a lot of men, especially when we talk about, women just jokingly putting men out or something like that. They get very upset because they don't they don't go seek counseling for that breakup. That breakup became trauma. And because when anything that makes you guard your heart to the point that you cannot breathe, and if anything is brought up, you're triggered, you are in trauma. I want you to know, breakup is trauma. Ladies and gentlemen, breakup is trauma. So when you carry it around in your little bag of tricks, you're already failing your next relationship already. You're already failing it. So what I would tell you from my lessons that I've learned, even if you were enough and you expanded on your enough, you would not be enough for someone who is wrong for you. Who, not that they don't fit. I don't like the word fit because we're not puzzle pieces. Not that he doesn't fit with you, but he's the wrong person. Just the wrong person. In general, just the wrong person. Yeah, he may have the right words to say, but he's Mr. Wrong. Yeah, he may make your heart flutter, but you're not 16 and it's not the first love. Your first love is you. Your real first love that you learned how to love yourself is your same sex. If it's your woman, if you're a woman, it's your father. Your father is your first person that you fell in love with, or fell out of love with and don't want, but seem to get because that's all you know. If it's a male, your mother is the first person you fall in love with. If you don't, you either hate her so much, you hate all women, and you're always suspicious, and you never will trust them, then you'll become abusive, and the circle goes round and round. So, learn from that. Learn from my lessons. I did make mistakes, but I turned them into lessons. Learn from my lessons, and take the golden pieces out of it that can help you become the best person that you can be when you're dating, when you're looking for a relationship. And don't tell me you're not looking for one, because you know what? Humans are made to be with other people. Maybe nuns got it wrong, because I've met some mean and nasty nuns and unhappy nuns, and nuns that have died of, very unhappy. Maybe, I don't know. But I will tell you, we were born to connect with other people. Period. Not to be in solitude all day, every day. We're born to be that. That's why we have 2 hands and 2 feet to reach. And 2 ears to listen. 1 mouth to have a voice. A voice, not voices. So, so that's what I wanted to tell you in all urgency today, is that, you're never going to be enough for the wrong person. Never, ever, ever, ever. Never going to be the right person or enough for the wrong person, which is so critical in this day and age. And the reason why marriages don't stay together is because they're with the wrong person with the wrong intentions. They have the wrong intentions when they marry them, and they're with the wrong person. It's not because the divorce rate or there's, all these other issues and blah, 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 all this other nonsense. It's not because of that. It's because they're with the wrong person for the wrong reasons. And you got to go into a marriage with the right reasons. You got to go to dating with the right reasons. You got to go into dating and marriage with the right intentions. So, ladies and gentlemen, I guess I could perceive and say to you today, I hope you got something out of what I said, because truly it is important to have, and it's important to take a page from my book and take some lessons from what I've learned. This is Edna White, your host, signing off on Keeping It Real on Purpose. And listen, ladies and gentlemen, my new episodes are beginning September, the first week in September, the first Wednesday in September. So you gotta listen in. It's new guests, it's authors, it's entrepreneurs, it's single people, it's married people. We're talking about real things in life, around being in business, around having life, the good, the bad, the things that we don't want to talk about. We're going to be talking about that. And I want you there. All right? So don't forget, tune in, click the button to hear any episodes that you missed, or anything like this, the interim of the September new season 3. This is Edna White signing off.